Hi, good morning P5. Today we still continue to study about life cycle of plants. Then this is the new material about flower reproduction. Okay, teacher will explain the part of flowers with the function. Okay, this one is the flower, and then the male organ we call this stamen. So this is the stamen. Okay, stamen is consisting with filament and anther. This is filament, this is anther, and then the female organ we call this as carpel. This is carpel, the female organ. Carpel consisting of stigma, style, ovary, and ovules. This is the parts of carpel: stigma, style, ovary, and ovule. So remember to the male part we call that stamen, the female part we call that carpel. Stamen consisting of two. The first is anther and filament, and then carpel consisting of four. There are stigma, style, ovary, and ovule. This is the parts of each parts of flowers. And then the female organ we call it a carpel. This is the parts: stigma, style, ovary, and ovule. Okay, then this one is the process of reproduction of flower. First, the pollen grains are dusty substance found in the anther, contain male reproductive parts. The anther is found on top of filament. It contains pollen sacs which release pollen grains when ripe. Then the filament is the thin stalk supporting the anther, and then the ovule contains the female reproductive parts called the egg. The stigma is commonly seen in the center of the flower. Its covers thick substance to allow pollen grains to stick to them. The style raises the stigma to increase the flower's chance of pollination. This one next. Petals are usually brightly colored. This is that give color to the flowers. This is called petals. Petals are usually brightly colored, and some are scented and attract insects. And then this is in the center of the flower. We call it ovary. Ovary contains and protects the ovules. Okay, later teacher will ask you to find some maybe one kind of flowers like hibiscus. Later you can find, or another kind of flower, hibiscus, can rose, and then you see which one is each part of that. Okay, besides of reproduction, in flower reproductive we know also pollination. What is pollination? Pollination is transfer of pollen grains from the male part into female part. So when the male part meet the female parts of flower, we call that pollination. Pollination, there are two types. The first is cross-pollination. The cross-pollination is the pollination happens if the flowers in different plants. But if the flowers in the same plants, we call that self-pollination. So pollination, there are two types. The first, cross-pollination, and self-pollination. Okay, this is the cross-pollination. Cross-pollination happens when the male part of these flowers goes to the other part of flowers. So this is the cross, because in the same type but different plants. So this is cross-pollination from this to this. Across this one the pollination. But if self-pollination happens in the same plants, this is the same plants of the flower, so we call this self-pollination. Okay, teacher hope you can understand this. Later, if any question, later we can discuss more details about this in Zoom. So join in Zoom for teacher's explanation. Thank you. Bye.